think we're doing it, man.
We're recording?
We've been gone for too long. He's not realizing. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. What's going on, all you masculine mustache men? My name's Mason.
And my name is Grayson.
And welcome to The Modern Dude.
A podcast by dudes, for dudes, helping dudes become better dudes.
Dude! November is Movember, which means it is Men's Health Month. We're going to dive into what that means for men's mental health and men's physical health. Because right now, more than ever, it is important for men to be aware of this
So close.
topic.
So close. I still give it to you.
I think we're just going to
I still think we keep that.
We're just
yeah,
gonna
that's
go
good.
with it.
That's good. That's good. That's pretty good. I was like, wow, he's kind of spitballing and he's kind of dancing around it. Is he going to be able to come with the conclusion? Just missed the ending. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not.
Pretty good though.
Did not. Well, what I had written down wasn't exactly great, so I just kind of went for it.
Yeah, you didn't say any of this.
Yeah, I didn't really like
it. Anyway, today's topic is about really something that is the overarching theme of this podcast, which is a podcast, based around helping dudes become better dudes, and that means every facet of what that entails. And for this month, it is November. Everybody's heard about Movember, the mustache growing situation.
Some people do No Shave November, and then I think from that, Movember came out, which is the mustache growing.
I don't know if No Shave November is also I don't know if someone's monetized on that and made it some sort of a same kind of similarity. Because they're the same thing in a sense.
Right. Movember is it's an actual website, and it's the whole mission statement is to bring awareness for men's mental health, physical health.
Yeah.
And it's a donation thing so that they put that money towards research, towards, towards actual people who have
counseling and things like that too, I'm sure.
And specifically, I think Movember is also really big on physical health, like helping people with prostate cancer and with testicular cancer.
They're primarily, I think, Movember's mission statement is more based around physical health when it comes to prostate, testicular.
But at the end of their little mission statement, we probably should have just read it. It is also it says mental health too, because obviously that's important.
That is of course a part of it. Yeah.
So we just want to highlight that because we, in turn, are going to set up a donation or it's not a donation thing. Yeah,
it'll be a donation thing on our page.
We're going to try and hit, I think, $1,000 is what we decided.
I think that'd be great.
And it's like Grayson said, it's exactly these are the kind of things we want to be doing because we can talk all day and we can try and bring awareness, but that is only goes so far. You know, when money starts getting involved, that's when things really start to change.
We want to use this platform obviously for us to have fun and to entertain and to have that aspect of it because we care very much about that part of this whole experience is bringing entertainment and wanting to put it on YouTube, wanting to put it on social media, wanting people to engage with it and have fun with it. But we also, when it comes to the subject matter of what we're trying to get into and what we care about and why at its core we're doing this is for this exact reason, for something like Movember, for something like putting all the things that we talk about into actual practice and into actual action. And this is a perfect example for that. We actually, when I Googled, I saw something online from somebody that I follow that mentioned that November is Men's Mental Health Month.
Right.
But when I Googled it, technically, apparently June is Men's Mental Health Month. Men's Mental Health Month. Mental health. November is just men's health. But Movember, mental health is just as important as physical health.
And they go hand in hand.
And they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So we're just taking that time to also, we'll revisit this in June
Yes.
of next year. But for now, we just wanted to take, this episode to kind of like discuss it, talk about it, and just sort of announce that we're going to do a little, some promotion that's going to bring up a donation that we're going to do on our page and make a big post about it. So definitely follow that and, try to be a part of that as much as you can.
For sure. Because we do talk so much about the mental health side of all of this.
We do.
The physical health is a big thing too, and we've touched on it a little bit. But cancer affects. I don't think there's a person on this planet that's not been affected by someone having
in some way
cancer.
Yeah, in some second degree or third degree.
And I think breast cancer awareness is a huge part of our culture.
Absolutely.
And I think that's as it should be. But I think sometimes men's illnesses take a back seat to some of those things.
They do, and I think that has a lot to do with men not wanting to practice self-care in the same way, or
just talking about it.
Just talking about it. On average, I think women have a expectancy to live like 5 years longer than men, just on average. And I think part of, what that might be based around, not only just because of certain genetic or scientific, I don't know any of that shit, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like many things, men are conditioned to stay very silent and stagnant about, their issues because they don't want to look any way or feel any way. I think that then in turn is coupled with not going to
get checked up
on as much, like I feel like that's way more of a thing for women to, repeatedly go get checked on, especially like with the types of things that women unfortunately have to like birth control and things like that. And like, dealing with a period every month and stuff. Like there's just more things that they go to and have to get checked on. And men, it's not really required, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be going and we shouldn't be checking ourselves out because, even if there's something wrong, go get checked. Just go.
Yeah.
I know it's like, I don't want to go to the doctor. No, nothing's wrong. I don't want to know what they might say. Money.
The fear of what that might be. And also there's like, I'm okay. I'll tough it out. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, my grandfather died of testicular cancer because of that very reason. Generally the thing with testicular cancer is that it's a young man's disease. Cancer. It's generally most people who get it are 18 to 25.
Yeah.
And we've had friends who've had it too.
Yeah.
But because he was older, he didn't want to get it checked out.
Right.
And he was like, whatever. And then he died at 55.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is just such it's another one of those like stigmas in our society is, being the guy who's supposed to be tough or supposed to take care of things or provide or do whatever some of those misconceptions are about things, that plays into just not even taking care of yourself and not even, acknowledging that something might be up. And if you are doing something about that quickly, you could eradicate it. You could get it out of the way and move on. And it's like a pride thing.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like sometimes we get a little short-sighted that, like a $600 bill or a $1,000 bill or, is a lot. And that's like, that sounds crippling sometimes. But also, isn't that worth it compared to like...
It's not as crippling as...
Dying. Literally, though. Like...
That's really crippling.
But that's fucking, that shit happens, And I've talked about it on here. Like going to the doctor is so annoying and scary and uneasy and just so many different things. But
God, I just hate being in a waiting room in a doctor's office or a hospital. It's just like it's terrible. But it's anxiety inducing, and not to mention how difficult and expensive insurance can be in different ways.
Yeah,
and of course.
And that's a whole different topic. But at the end of the day, it's still better than being dead. Or it's still better than having a really, catching something before it gets worse, you know. Just to dive a little bit deeper into, you know, the physical part of it.
Boing.
Diving in there, quite literally. I mean, it is scary to talk about, speaking of diving in, prostate exams and testicular exams. And that's like uncomfortable shit to talk about.
Sure.
Or just like foreign, you know?
Or to even have the conversation, like I've been in situations where, and it's all a mental game, and don't fucking Google anything because you'll just go to shit. Yeah. I mean, Google MD or whatever the hell it is. WebMD.
WebMD, oh my God. We talked about this. Don't do it.
It'll send you straight to hell. And you won't be able to get back out.
No, yo.
But we've all been there. Like I remember in 2020 when I was like getting out of this terrible breakup, I don't even, it didn't even make sense that I would like have something wrong with me or whatever. Like I hadn't done anything, like nothing, like I felt like I had like some kind of like an STD or something at one point. I thought like I was like feeling like things that weird, or like something in my throat or something. Yeah. And I'd be like, what is it? And I would just go straight to like, it's something bad. Like this would happen in my life right now with 2020 happening with this bad breakup. And now this. And I couldn't even name what it is, but I was like thinking there were things and feeling there were things and feeling off. And like, you know, I didn't go get checked about it. And it was nothing, but it's one of those things where like, I didn't talk about it to anybody. Yeah. And I didn't discuss my mental emotions about it, what I was feeling in different ways. Like I just like didn't do anything about it. And in hindsight, you know, I should have, because it would have given me a peace of mind to go to the doctor and just get checked or whatever. And I finally like managed in 2021 to go and get a actual like full physical and a checkup. And going to it, I had so much anxiety and going through it. And you know, I'm like, I feel like my glands are swollen and I've got something. What if it's this? What if it's that? And the doctor was like, I have 3 or 4 that are just sort of like enlarged just due to like life. Like he's like, it's normal, it's fine. Which just like a wave. They just put a wave of like, and
then compound that on like, these are my nuts that fucking feel weird. That there might be a lump.
Not my balls.
Yeah, like so I think I've talked about this before, but I thought I had a lump when I was in college, and then recently I thought I had a lump, and so I've been checked out twice, and have had my nuts ultrasound twice, which is a hilariously awkward experience.
It's got to be weird.
But
they put that like pad over your
throw your dong back, put a towel over it, and then a lady rubs your nuts with an ultrasound machine.
Actually, that sounds pretty great.
Very warm liquid they put on there. But that's the thing. Like nobody fucking knows about that probably because not many people have either been afraid to do it or have not done it at all.
Or don't talk about it.
Or just don't talk about it. Exactly.
It's the first time I've ever heard about it.
Yeah.
Warm goop.
Yeah, but it was scary.
Sure, of course.
And it's annoying, and it's fucking money, and it was expensive as fuck to go get it all done. But it's so necessary, and the peace of mind is worth the bill.
It's
Because
priceless. It
turned out it was nothing. That sometimes there's veins in the back of your scrotum that attach your nut to your body that get inflamed.
This sounds like some alien shit.
But like if you reach down there, you'll feel them. But sometimes they just get inflamed, and there's all sorts of stuff that it can be, but that it may not be cancer. But it's also worth going to get checked out because those things can also,
because it might.
And those things are worth getting checked out too because it's not, just because you have something weird down there doesn't mean that it's cancer, but it could be something else too.
Exactly.
So go get that peace of mind.
Yeah, I got my results from that checkup thing, and it's so funny too. Like I feel like doctors are like, they're like in cahoots with your like mental anguish. Like he just sent me this email and he goes, here are your results. And it's just, I open up this like portal and it's a bunch of shit that I don't understand, that I can't read. All of these graphs that are like, this one's in the red, this one's in the green. I'm like, is it good? Is it bad? He's like, well, on these.
It's like fucking Christmas on this goddamn chart.
Like, it was like, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And I sent him an email and I was like, hey man, what the fuck does all this mean? And he was like, oh, well, it's all completely fine. I was like, then why can't the email just say you're completely fine?
Yeah, oh God, portals are terrible.
Why do I need all this other shit? Like, you didn't say everything looks normal. Why did you send me this? And then I have to email you to ask, is this normal? For you to then be like, yeah, everything's fine. Like,
God.
I don't know.
Sometimes I will say my mom has had cancer on and off for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
And they now sometimes, because of the whole new portal system, she gets the information before the doctors have time to like review it. And she's like, well, don't know what all this means. And then she has to call them, and the doctors are pissed off. They're like, well, this is, sorry, I hadn't gotten to review this yet. And I think it's on the fuck the technicians. Actually, they're probably very sweet people. Anyways, we got a little sidetracked. But yeah, like, also, like, having a guy stick his finger up your ass, I don't know what that's like personally.
I do.
That's not medical, though, Grayson.
No, I got it in. I think it was in college.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I had a full physical, like fully. They did the Q-tip in the pee hole, which is awful.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that was for STDs, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I guess.
I think so.
It wasn't because I had a scare.
Swab.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Right.
It wasn't for that though. Like, I wasn't like, I'm scared that I have an STD and I'm going. It was just like whatever the physical was for this doctor's office. That they were just like, we're doing everything. And I was like, okay. The Q-tip.
Was it a doctor's office?
My mom took me. The Q-tip in the hole.
She actually did, didn't she?
Laura? Yeah. Maybe it was, I guess it was high school thing, because that wouldn't have made sense if it was in college. Unless I was like home for something, but yeah.
Wait, why were people sticking their finger in your ass in high school?
Maybe, I guess it was college then. I don't know. It was just like to check for, prostate things. It's
very early to be doing that, but hey, whatever.
It was just part of the package, man.
You got the
part of the package.
See, this is why we got to talk about stuff.
But it
Grayson
did happen,
needed to cry about that.
And it was hella weird.
They lube it up a little bit?
She did lube it up, yeah.
Oh, she? Okay, well, that's nice.
Yeah, that was great. Me just like curled up with a stranger woman in the fetal position while she puts a blanket over half of my body and fists me. Yeah, it was dope. At least it was a chick. It's still weird. It wasn't sexual,
Did you get a boner?
The blanket became a tent quickly. God. But yeah, and it was, it was a weird feeling, but it's one of those things that you just gotta do it. You have to do those things.
I think
sometimes.
they've said that prostate health. This is actually an article I read. I wish I could reference it, but I saw it randomly. I think a couple months ago that they are now, because of the way, I guess people are taking care of themselves. They recommend doing.
They recommend. I feel like I nailed that.
Okay. Doing prostate exams 5 to 10 years earlier now. I can't. It used to be like around 50.
Sure.
Or 45, and now they recommend like 40.
Yeah.
So prostate cancer is super fucking fatal.
Yeah.
It's like
big time.
it's one of the ones you do not want to get.
Yeah.
You can actually survive testicular cancer fairly well if it's caught early enough.
Yeah.
But prostate cancer that's not a good one. You
sure,
don't
yeah.
Get that.
Yeah. You can't just, it's not like balls where you can just like take one out.
Yeah.
And kind of, you take your prostate out.
They could, I think they do in some instances, but I don't know
The way it spreads or something.
Yeah, it's not
worse.
I don't know. I ain't no doctor.
So again, we're making jokes about it in that way, but the reality is, why would you not do it? Just squat up and get it done so that for a peace of mind, so that it can be caught early perhaps, just in general, to stomach that, to swallow it and not be like, things are feeling weird or looking weird or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like it's important to get checkups. It's important to
getting a yearly physical. I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, a yearly physical is
most
very important.
If you have insurance, even if it's shitty insurance, I think you get one.
They
give you one for free.
Yeah.
Pro bono.
I got one in 2020. I don't think I got one this year, but
I've been in and out of the doctor a couple times this year because of the testicle thing. So I got checked up on one of those things. Like, go ahead and just give me the whole rundown.
give me the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. So,
And it turned out that I'm okay, which is
Right.
great. You know,
Right.
I do have a lot of medical bills, and it took a long time to get there because I didn't know what all this shit was.
yeah.
But the peace of mind for my health is, I'm gonna make the money. I'm gonna pay it off. You know,
Sure.
like there's always a way to get out from under that kind of stuff.
Paramount. Man.
But there is not a way to get out from that stuff if you fucking wait, and then it's too late.
100%.
Yeah, I mean that's why give yourself the worst case scenario when there's other ways to resolve that, you know?
Yeah. Agreed.
And like there's some people that are more fortunate than others that have like more financial benefits, but like this is another reason why we talk so much to like make sure you have a good group of people around you that can help you, that, you know, like even if you don't have financial support, that's what like GoFundMe's are fucking for.
Yeah.
And like that stuff works. People, my mother's had cancer off and on, like I said, for 15 years. And so many people have donated to help pay for her medical bills. It's so humbling.
yeah.
And, you know, having a good core of people around you that are willing to step up and do that for you is so important too.
Absolutely.
And
Just got to be willing to ask.
And that's why like this whole podcast is just so important. Just like community, taking care of yourself, communicating. It's everything is intertwined. And we only have one shot at this. And so it's like build a community, build communication skills so that you can go through this life just a little fucking easier, man.
Couldn't agree more.
But also when the physical happens, it also causes a lot of anxiety for the mental. So,
Oh, yeah.
And then that's how they're, you know, hand in hand.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is just like there's no if you take away anything from this, there is no pro to not going to get checked out. There's only cons. Like there's only, because it's going to bleed into everything else, like Mason's saying. Like you're going to have more anxiety trying to stomach it and be something feels kind of weird, but I'm just going to stomach it. That's going to build up. That plays into another thing. We were just talking about this with our guy Price before the episode, is talking about like guys compartmentalizing too much and like pushing things down too much in general, like not just about this specific topic in health, but in anything.
Yeah.
And then it builds and it festers and then it comes out in some other really weird anxiety induced way. And like, it's just not the best way to go about it. It's easier said than done. Obviously we deal with it all the time. I struggle with it, of course. But to talk out loud about it, especially at a time now in this month where, you know, this, it's funny that we like, it makes it easier to like talk about it when we like give it a title or give it a reason. Like it's this month, so you can talk about it now. You should be able to talk about it whenever.
But it's great to have an excuse to talk about
exactly.
it. And so I think those guys over at Movember are doing an amazing thing.
I think it's a really special thing. I think it's kind of like slept on every year and it's kind of underrated.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard about it maybe a couple years ago. But like this is the first time I really looked into it.
Yeah.
Because again, I always heard about like the no shave November,
right?
Where you just shave on November 1 and then let it go. But this is a little bit more specific, and it's towards a good cause, you know.
I just, on a personal note, if I were to no shave November, I would just be clean shaven for a full month. Nothing would happen. You wouldn't see anything until like February. So it's like, you know, it's the thing for me is not, it doesn't work this.
I'd have a beard in a week.
That's what I mean. He would look exactly like this, even more full probably in a week. Whereas like, you know, I'm starting to work through
I don't know which
stubble.
one's worse though, because then if I can't shave, I can't even edge up, then I'm just like grizzly, you know.
Grizzly abs.
Yeah.
Adams. I'm Grizzly Adams.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I I know the mustache thing. We should do it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I just look strange with just the stash and completely
Have you ever done it?
clean
I don't
shaven
think I've ever
everywhere.
seen you just
I
with
did
a
it.
stash.
I did it. I did it like recently for like a second because.
You did like the goatee though, didn't you?
Well, I accidentally, when I was shaving, I was trying to trim and I went a little bit too hard on the chin. And so I tried to kind of do the same thing on the other side and even it out. And Rachel was like, and then she was like, it's all got to go. This is, and I was like, well, why don't we just try just the mustache? So I shaved everything else. It was just the mustache.
Did you walk around with it, or did you shave it off immediately?
In the apartment for about 5 minutes just to like freak her out. And then.
Who wants a mustache ride?
Yeah, and I was like, nah, it's gotta go. She's gotta go.
I think you've got a strong upper lip though. I think you could do it. And your father does the stash.
I think when I was doing it, yeah, it just sort of, I don't know, the weird length, it was a little scraggly or whatever. I think if I'd like trimmed it up a bit more.
You've got enough right now.
Yeah, I could have done it, but I don't.
Does your dad rock? He does a full beard now, but he used to just do the stash, right?
He used to just do the stash,
Yeah.
and just like a clean shadow.
Yeah.
Outside of that, but
I'm into that. I think you could rock it.
I'll get there.
Movember's calling.
I'll get there. But we are going to still try to bring awareness to this cause and this whole situation while using this podcast as the platform for that, because that is very, very important.
Yeah, as much as the fluff and the fun we have, this is the meat and potatoes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all I think we've got.
Yeah. I think this was just like a quick, easy one that we wanted to just talk about, on a bit more of a serious note than we normally do. Something serious that we wanted to just sort of like give out, discuss, talk about, and make sure that people are aware of it, because like we've said, as much as we have fun on here, this is the real reason that we do it. So we just wanted this to be an awareness episode.
Yeah, and this is the first one that I think we've, had some like financial or like monetary ties to like ask
Absolutely.
people, and we haven't done that a lot. So I think we're gonna push this a little bit in the next few days, the next week. It's a very worthy cause. Go look it up. It's very cool. They're doing a great thing, and also check on yourself and check on your guys that are spark that conversation. You know?
Yeah.
Make sure your homies are taking care of themselves.
Absolutely.
And if they're not, if you notice like bad habits and stuff like that, be like, hey,
Let's talk about it.
yeah, because there's not enough of that, and that's exactly what we're here to do, and that's exactly why we have this podcast, is to hold other guys accountable and ourselves. So
Transition. Hope you enjoy what you've listened to today. As always, please follow us on all social media platforms at The Modern Dude. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. We even have, specifically for this episode, we have a sort of group on Facebook called The Modern Dude Speaks.
yes.
And where we sort of have a forum for people to hop in and talk about different issues, where it's a safe space for men to talk about men's stuff. So please follow us on all of those things. If you're on YouTube right now, click on that notification bell, click on that subscribe button, comment, please share, please be a part of the discussion. We love to hear from you guys. And don't forget,
Oh.
do your dude diligence.
Bye now.